Welcome to the Business Buyer Diaries. My name is Nathan Platter. I'm a full-time employee, and I bought a business. I did everything right, from finding the deal, handling all the due diligence on 63 opportunities, and ultimately bought a profitable gym. And boy, was I in for a big surprise as a new owner. I chronicled everything in real time, including the biggest wins to the stressful nights at 2 a.m. I'm sharing my journey without sugarcoating anything, so you don't make the same mistakes that I did. Here's today's episode. So I've got a friend on Facebook who's done pretty well. He's a normal blue-collar tradesman, tiling guy, and his wife has been like a school teacher, but they pivoted their careers, and he's now like a semi-bodybuilder, still doing tiling, but his wife has transitioned to more of a stay-at-home mom and a health coach. And one of his posts that he put out recently is they wanted to convert all of their liabilities into assets. And so instead of getting rid of the thing altogether, turning that negative into a positive. And so in his post, he mentioned that they've got his pickup truck, they've got her vehicle, but they also have like a convertible. And so instead of getting rid of that third car, which cost them money, they actually started renting it out on Turo. And so something like what cost them $300, $500 a month is now making them like $1,000 or $2,000 a month. And lo and behold, they started renting it out, and it did well enough that they actually bought a second vehicle. And he's into trucks. So instead of his one pickup truck, he got like a really nice, like a sedan for the weekend. So I think it was a Dodge Charger, or it was like a Ford Super Duty, but they got another vehicle, which normally is a liability, but they started renting it out as an asset. And so now they go from paying for 3 vehicles out of pocket to now 2 of their cars actually pay for all 4 of their cars, plus a little pocket cash. And just little things like that, where they had stuff around the house that they started renting, selling, or just converting from a negative into a positive. And just now I went to Aldi, and I realized their cardboard and the recycling is a huge time cost for their team. But now, instead of having that being a cost for them, it's now something that customers grab for free and take out of the store with them. Or they can buy shopping bags and paper bags, and they can still do the normal grocery shopping. But that liability, that cost of recycling, is now an asset where customers do it for them. And so that's, in the gym context, I'm not trying to figure out what are my liabilities, things that cost me money, and how can I convert that into an asset? And so one thing I'm looking at, which, don't start hitting me up. I've already been hit up by enough agencies, but turning my team's time, that cost of follow-up with customers, the cost of trying to do promotions or different marketing, how can I turn that into an asset? So one thing I'm looking at are a few agencies that will actually do the appointment setting and set your members to come in as a warm lead or a hot lead, and now just do the sales demo, walkthrough, and closing, instead of your team trying to set the appointments and that liability trying to do the follow-up, the second appointment, the pre-sale stuff. They basically tee you up to have a closing and a sale, so that once you make that closing, someone signs a contract or they sign up for a membership. Now that you have the revenue coming in, you have that membership, like the membership sign up $99 fee or the first month of dues can now pay for your team to do that follow-up and the retention of customers instead of the trying to get customers. And so that's something I'm trying to shift in my mindset. How can I shift my liabilities, like onboarding, hiring new staff, trying to get that first customer to make that first buy? How can I turn that cost into an asset for me? And so it's easy to get rid of and cut costs, but instead of shifting that from going from a negative to a break even into a positive, that's really forcing me to think differently. So hit me up if you have any other ways of turning gym liabilities into income producing assets. It's got to do one of 3 things for me. It either has to increase the number of paying customers that I've got, or it has to increase the average spend per customer, like nutrition, apparel, upsells, like additional one-on-one trainings, or higher value customers per month, or it has to reduce the cost it takes for me to run my gym. So I'm not buying solar, but if you sold solar and it cut my energy bill, that'd be something on my radar. Or if you had a way to make my gym equipment last longer, or to make it, just last longer, or to be more durable, that'd be a great example. Or if there's a way to get the onboarding time for a new hire or an instructor from, say, 8 weeks down to 6 weeks, or down to 4 weeks, or heck, even 2 weeks or 1 week, and decrease the costs for me to run the same quality gym, that I'm all game. I will never be afraid to spend money if it does one of those three things. It's got to have a minimum of a 3x return. So if your program is $1,000, it's got to help me $3,000 more. I'm not afraid by any means. If your thing is going to cost me $500,000, but it will generate at minimum a $1.5 million return, I will swipe the card and buy your product. There's got to be some stipulations. I'm going to vet you as I would expect you to vet me, but I want to turn my liabilities into assets. So it's not good enough to just get rid of it, break even. It's got to produce a positive for me. So it's got to do one of those three things: increase the quantity of customers, increase the value or the monthly pay per customer, or it has to decrease the costs of running the gym and having a smooth system. So that's how Aldi and my friend are inspiring me to up my game and to run a better gym as we get closer to that acquisition. This has been another episode of the Business Buyer Diaries. Subscribe so you don't miss the next episode. I hope you're realizing that business ownership is no cakewalk. Check the podcast notes for a link to the DIY due diligence program, the complete list of show sponsors, and for media inquiries. Music written and composed by Wes Schrock. I'm your host, Nathan Platter. Join me again on the next one.